Hari Om everyone. Hari Om Prabhuji. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Om Sadguru Devaya Namaha. The first batch of Jnana Jyothi course completed 1 year this March 2023. And as a mark of completion of this course and as an offering for Guru Purnima 2023, all the participants have been presenting a short video talk on some spiritual topic. Therefore, I would also like to join this bandwagon and give my sharing today as a Guru Purnima offering. And the topic would be Quest for Happiness. I would like to offer my pranams and gratitude to Sri Prabhuji, who is my teacher, my guide, my light on the path of self-inquiry and Advaita Vedanta and Atma Vichara. Thank you, Prabhuji, for all the patience and guidance and simplicity of teaching that has made difficult Vedantic topics so easily understandable. I would also like to offer my gratitude to Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, whose book I Am That has been a great influence on me, and to Sri Ramana Maharshi, whose work Upadesha Saram I am greatly moved and inspired. Not to forget my prostrations and gratitude to the entire lineage of Jnanis and Sadgurus and Masters, right from Sadashiva and Sriman Narayana, all the way to Adi Shankara and to the present day Karana Guru. Like many people, I have also explored many things in life towards seeking of happiness. In childhood, it was toys, and as I grew up in studies and education, friends, games, extracurricular activities, and then career, and also then with entering into a wedlock and relationship, building a family, relatives and friends, and yoga, pursuing yoga to look at meditation and other aspects of life. And along the way, a good friend told me that Upanishads contain the truth, the essence of life, and therefore I must also explore this aspect. And as I explored this through various sources, including the internet, I gathered that there were thousands and thousands of Upanishads in the past, and several of them, many of them got plundered in the invasion of the Middle Ages. And some wise men and well-wishers who knew the value of our Sanatana Dharma's tradition, culture, and spirituality managed to protect and save 108 Upanishads. And these are available today as documented written form, out of which 10 are classified as major Upanishads. Not to say that the remaining ones are any less than the 10 major ones. It is just that many acharyas and gurus have written extensive commentaries on these 10 major Upanishads. Now, amongst the 10, there is the largest Upanishads, about 627 shlokas, and the smallest of them is 12 shlokas, and the remaining of them are in varied lengths. Somewhere in 2013, I came across an Upanishads. Call it a human chance or a divine design. But this Upanishad was shorter than the shortest. It was a single verse Upanishad. And the beauty is that this Upanishad I did not get to read. I got to hear it from my own beloved teacher. And what is that? That is, I am not who I think I am. I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am the self of the nature of Sat-Chit-Ananda. I am Shiva. Shiva I am. Shiva I am. Shiva I am. I was confused and thrilled at the same time because this is the simplest verse, single verse truth that I have come across. So it's easy for me to grasp. At the same time, I was confused because it is turning all that I had believed in upside down. I thought I was who I think, but now this verse is saying I am not who I think I am. And therefore, as I explore this over the next few minutes, I would like to share my journey of my exploration of this verse with everyone. Let's take the first one. I am not who I think I am. So, what is happening? Where do I think? In the mind. So, if we represent the mind as a bundle of thoughts, which most psychologists use it as a model, there are they say there are 50 to 70,000 thoughts generated by the mind every day. And so, for the purposes of understanding, let's take four thoughts: Vasu, hunger, anger, and a man. Now, all these thoughts are harmless by themselves, but they tend to move into becoming harmful when I am attaches to these thoughts. Now, when I am attaches to Vasu, I become a person. I become Vasu. I am Vasu. Pride and all the other feelings rise in me. Now, is I am attached to only one thought? No, I am shifts from one thought to another constantly. And that is why people say it is chanchalamana. The mind is fickle and the mind has many thoughts. It's called aneka vritti. It is never eka vritti. And therefore, what is the technique? Because the mind is confused with either I am Vasu, I am a coach, I am cool, I am an engineer, I am a manager. So many thoughts are there. So there are several techniques about yoga and japa and other things that are available today that says reduce the number of thoughts. Why? When I reduce the number of thoughts from 4 to 2, what happens? The gap between two thoughts increases, and I'm able to recognize the gap between the two thoughts, that as silence. And there is happiness and peace here, though briefly. But what is the limitation of this? This gap, because it is a gap between thoughts, between two thoughts, can be interrupted with another thought arising from the subconscious mind at any time. That is why when I sit for meditation many times, I get thirsty and I have to get up to drink water. The thought of thirst, I am thirsty, I am hungry, comes and interrupts my meditation. And what has happened to the silence? The silence, duration of the silence has got reduced. Now, this is a problem with recognizing silence as a gap between thoughts. Not that it is not useful, it gives peace, experience of peace, temporarily for some time, but then that peace is prone to interruption from some thought that arises from the unconscious mind. Now, what is the way out? What does Vedanta say? Disidentify from these thoughts. Now, when I shift from I am BMI to I am, to look at the BMI, all the thoughts from outside, then what is the position of I am? It's not I am Vasu, but I am not the BMI. I am not this body, mind, intellect. Now, the Drg-Drsya Viveka clearly says, meditate as if I am not the BMI. The 24th shloka says, how do I see these thoughts? Kamadhya chittaga drishyaha. See that the thoughts arising in consciousness, desires, kama, and other thoughts, chittaga drishyaha, arise in consciousness, and you are as a object. Drishya here means objects, the scene. So all the thoughts arise in consciousness as the objects. And what is my position as I am? Tat sakshitvena chetanam. Observe them as the witness of these thoughts. And that is why Prabhuji also says the starting point for meditation is very important. How do we meditate? Tat sakshitvena chetanam. Meditate, sit for meditation as if I am the witness of the thoughts, not as the body, mind, intellect. I am the witness of body, mind, intellect. Even Nisargadatta Maharaj says, don't sit for meditation as the body. Sit for meditation as I am. And the body cannot meditate on I am. The I am has to meditate on itself. That is why even Prabhuji says, Jnana must lead to dhyana. Dhyana cannot lead to jnana. That means wisdom must result in silence. Silence cannot give wisdom. So this is the crux of meditation, because if we don't meditate with the right starting point, then we'll reach the wrong destination very quickly. So the starting point of every meditation, Drishyaha Savikalpa Samadhi, as told in Drg-Drsya Viveka, is to take the position that I am not BMI. That means I am observing the thoughts, which is BMI, rising and falling in consciousness, and I, the observer of these, is the witness. Now, this is the first step in the meditation. Now, as we progress further, now you can see, look at this Maha Mantra in the new light. Now, I am not the BMI makes sense. I am not who I think I am. Therefore, I am not the body, mind, intellect. All right. So I take the position that I am not the body, mind, intellect, and I am the observer of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions internally arising and falling in my own consciousness. Now, from this position, if I am observing the body, mind, intellect, or the thoughts, feelings, and emotions from outside, what is my nature? Then I shift from I am not the body, mind, intellect, the I am shifts from something outside to something within, between the gaps between body, mind, intellect. And this is the true nature of I am, because the nature of I am is actually silence. And in silence, it is actually, what does it mean? I am here means I am Sat-Chit-Ananda. Now, how do we recognize this? Drg-Drsya Viveka again says that meditate now as the nature of your true I am. What is the nature of I am? Asanga. And then Swaprabho, self-effulgent. Asanga is non-attachment. And Dvaita Varjitaha, devoid of duality. What was the first meditation? Neti, neti, neti. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. The next deeper level of meditation, Shabdanuvid Savikalpa Samadhi, is the assertion of my own true nature. And what is my own true nature? Asangaha, unattached, swaprabho, self-effulgent, dvaita varjita, non-dual. In silence, in quietude, where is duality? Nothing. Therefore, that is my nature. And everything is seen in silence. Therefore, it is self-luminescent, swaprabha, and it is unattached. That means thoughts are there, but I am silent, I am peaceful, I am silent. So, this is the second nature of meditation, the deeper meditation of Shabdanuvid Savikalpa Samadhi, meditating on the nature of I am, the iti principle. The first meditation, Drishyanuvid, is the neti principle. The second meditation, Shabdanuvid, is the iti principle. I am Asanga, I am Swaprabha, I am Dvaita Varjita. In other words, I am Sat-Chit-Ananda. And therefore, the third statement, I am the self of the nature of Sat-Chit-Ananda, acquires a great meaning, isn't it? Now, is it enough? If we are there, there is some remnant of a little duality, because I am silent and though I am silent, I am there and the thoughts are there. There are two still. Though inherently in silence, the silence itself is non-dual, we need one more step to proceed to complete non-duality. And how do we do that? That Drg-Drsya Viveka again says, from the gap between the thoughts, go to the foundation of all thoughts and silence. Now, when the I am takes the position of the foundation of thoughts as well as silence, it is down deep below as I am. Now, this I am is not Sat-Chit-Ananda, it becomes I am Shiva. Right? And therefore, how is this possible? From prolonged meditation with the silence, as we experience the silence more and more, Swanubhuti Aveshat, as I merge into the experience of the self, then what happens? I'm established in my own nature as the fundamental principle. And what is the example given? An example given is the flame positioned in a place where it does not flicker because there is no wind blowing. Nivata sthita deepavat. Just like a flame placed in a place where the wind doesn't blow, and the flame is unflickering, that means ever constant, then the I am knows that it is at the foundation of not just thoughts, but it is the foundation of silence as well. In what is the position, what is the difference between this position and the earlier two positions? Now, here in this position at the foundation, at the base, neither thoughts nor silence can be interrupted. In the other two positions, silence can be interrupted by a thought. Isn't it? That is why recognize the true nature of I am as Sat, which is the foundation of both the thoughts and the silence. Therefore, I am is uninterrupted. And this places myself in I am at the foundation, at the deepest level. And therefore, the last one, I am Shiva, I am Shiva, I am Shiva, gains a lot of importance. That means I am Shiva completely. At the foundation, I am at the existential level, the foundation of all thoughts and silence, both. So nothing can interrupt me. I'm completely in this stage. I am unattached. I am neither the body nor the mind nor the intellect. I am not even the experience of silence. I am just also, in addition to being asanga, unattached, in addition to being free from duality, dvaita varjita, I am at the foundation as Shiva, as the essence of all existence within myself, internal existence. Internal existence are my thoughts, feelings, and emotions rising and falling in my individual consciousness or the mind. Therefore, in summary, what are the three steps? In the first step, I think I am what I think. I have identified with the thoughts. In step two, I am not who I think I am. Therefore, I observe the thoughts and the silence between the thoughts, the gap between the thoughts, from an external position as if I am not the body, mind, intellect. And the step three is I take an assertion on myself, emphasis on my true nature that I am Sat-Chit-Ananda. I go deeper into myself as the silence, Sat-Chit-Ananda. And the last step is I go to the foundation of both the thoughts and the silence, where there is no interruption possible for my true nature. And therefore, when I realize that I had the foundation, that means I was the thought before, then I realized I am not the thought, then I realized I was between the thought, then what is the realization? The realization is everything is I am. Whether it's a thought, it is I am. Whether it's the gap between thoughts, it is I am. Whether I am witnessing the thoughts and silence, it is I am. And whether I am at the foundation of both thoughts and silence, it is I am. And this is Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Sadashiva Brahmendra said, Sarvam Brahmamayam. Re Sarvam Brahmamayam. That means everything is Brahman. What shall I describe? What shall I not describe? Kim vachaniyam, kim avachaniyam. Re sarvam brahmamayam. Kim pathaniyam, kim apataniyam. What shall I study? What shall I not study? Sarvam brahmamayam. Kim bhoktavyam, kim abhoktavyam. What shall I experience? What shall I not experience? Shall I experience the thought? Shall I experience the silence? Or shall I experience that I am the witness of the thoughts and silence? Or shall I experience the foundation of both the thoughts and silence? Re sarvam brahmamayam. Everything is Brahman. So there is no difference. So the position, the very thought that was a disturbance in the earlier part of my understanding becomes an expression of Brahman from the foundation of thoughts and silence. When everything is seen as Brahman, not becomes. And therefore, Drg-Drsya Viveka says, this position is possible. What is the fruit of such a meditation? Deha bhimane galite vijnate paramatmani. When I remove the pride or attachment from my deha abhimana, when I remove the attachment from my body, vijnate paramatmani, when I understand that everything is Paramatman, yatra yatra mano yati, wherever the mind goes, tatra tatra samadhayaha, the 30th shloka of Drg-Drsya Viveka. That means wherever the mind goes, the mind is in samadhi. Where can the mind go? Only to two places. When the eyes open, it can go to the objects and it sees the names and forms. But when it sees the names and forms, it knows that existence or Shiva is at the foundation of all names and forms. When the eyes close, the mind goes inside and it sees thoughts, feelings, and emotions arising in the mind. But it knows that consciousness is at the foundation of both the thoughts and the silence, the gap between the thoughts. So externally, the mind knows when the mind goes external, it knows that it is at the foundation of all objects, which is which is Sat or existence. And then when it goes internally, it knows that it is Sakshi or Chit, Sat and Chit together as Sakshi. And therefore, whether it goes external or internal, the mind is always in Samadhi. This is the grand declaration of Drg-Drsya Viveka. When we realize that I am the foundation of both thoughts and silence, then wherever the mind goes, internally or externally, the mind is always in Samadhi. And what is this? Therefore, everything is light, isn't it? The light seems to be behind the clouds. The clouds appears to darken the earth. But where is the darkness? Only to the experiencer or the onlooker from the position of the earth. Now, if the person, the witness, flies above the clouds, as it happens when we fly in an airplane at 30,000, 40,000 feet, then the clouds are below and the airplane is above, then what do we see? We don't see the darkness, we only see the sun. Same way, it is light through and through. Ignorance, like the clouds, have the power to obstruct light, but they don't have the energy to sustain the darkness. Once the wind blows, then the clouds will disperse and the light remains. And therefore, what does Advaita Makaranda say? Aham asmi sadhabhami. I am always self-effulgent, sadhabhami, ever shining. Therefore, this Maha Mantra that is said in 4 lines is so immensely powerful, so deep. I am not who I think I am. I am not the body, mind, intellect. I am the self of the nature of Sat-Chit-Ananda. I am Shiva, I am Shiva, I am Shiva. The entire realization of this is also the technology given in Drg-Drsya Viveka. Just because everything is light, I cannot ignore the being who held the torch and lit the path that I am walking on, isn't it? Just because 2/3 of the earth is filled with water, I cannot forget the person who gave me a glass of water when I was thirsty. Just because everything is light, I cannot forget the light in form that showed me the light of awareness. And that is the Sadguru in form. And so, to the teaching and to the teacher, I offer this understanding of the Maha Mantra. Om Sadguru Devaya Namaha.